The corruption trial against former President Jacob Zuma and his co-accused continues today in the Pietermaritzburg High Court, but Zuma won't be attending. The former president has approached the Constitutional Court in a bid to appeal the dismissal of his application to remove the prosecutor, Billy Downer, from the corruption trial. The High Court, as well as the Supreme Court of Appeals, denied him leave to appeal Downer's removal. All right, let's take you to Pietermaritzburg now, where this case is being heard, and we find Ziyanda Ngcobo live for us there. Ziyanda, I would have expected you to be on the steps of the courts, but instead you're somewhere on the streets. What's happening where you are?
I'm still somewhere on the streets, Goli, because I'm still trying to inquire from the Jacob Zuma Foundation's Mzwanele Manyi about why, Mr. Manyi, it would seem you are continuing, the patron of your foundation is continuing with the so-called Stalingrad approach. Just days before we're meant to have this trial continue, he's filed another court application at the Constitutional Court.
Yeah, let's start here. The 17th of October. Was a holding date in the first place, contrary to the headline by the newsroom that Zuma has snapped. That headline of yours was actually out of order. President Zuma has not snapped this. Judge Kuhn had said there's no requirement. It's basically an administrative date, this, just to agree what's next. So what's next now will be informed by the recent court ruling, Constitutional Court ruling of the 23rd of September, which court ruling made two fundamental points. The one point was that, contrary to the NPA's position, when we submitted the reconsideration application at the Supreme Court of Appeal, the Constitutional Court has said that basically the Judge President's decision was appealable. So, which was very important for us. That was a win for us to say that indeed it is appealable. That's the first thing. Secondly, because up to date the merits of the case had not been dealt with even by the Supreme Court of Appeal, the Constitutional Court has given an open invitation for His Excellency President Zuma to submit his application directly to the Constitutional Court. So today, the business of today is to give Judge Kuhn that kind of feedback, and basically what is happening now is that the appeal of his decision here is now in process at the highest court in the land. So that's the business of today.
So another delay and postponement on the horizon, it's quite evident, because we still need to hear what the Constitutional Court would say. We were also here just last Monday to also deal with the private prosecution that you've brought against Billy Downer and Karen Moon. And many would say that you're trying all angles to avoid the start of this trial. The former president has said he wants his day in court. Is the issue of Billy Downer that critical, so much so that it's going to further delay having that very day in court that he's been wanting for so long?
That question should be asked from the NPA. The NPA, I don't know how many prosecutors they have. If they know that we have an issue with Billy Downer, surely of the hundreds of prosecutors they have, they should have just said, okay, we'll pull your bluff. Here's prosecutor number 2. So if indeed they wanted this case themselves, they would have done this. They are putting Billy Downer because they know that Billy Downer has got issues. This guy is a serial offender. His case goes back to Bulelani Ngcuka's days.
So it's not because Billy Downer successfully prosecuted Schabir Sheikh, who is linked integrally to this very matter that we're here for, the arms deal trial?
Billy Downer, as we speak here and now, is accused, number 1, in a criminal case of contravening Section 41, Subsection 6 of the NPA Act. So we're talking about an accused person here. His hands are not fit and proper to be the one prosecuting President Zuma. He can't. He's an accused, number 1. How can it be that a person who is in the dock, how can it be that a person accused in a criminal trial that carries a heavy sentence of 15 years be seen to be fit and proper to prosecute anyone for that matter?
Well, some would say that's exactly why then you've brought these charges against Philly Downer, a part of continuing to delay this trial. But Xoli, another delay expected here this morning, not long, the proceedings that we're expecting, wrapping it quite quickly and seeing when the next holding date is expected to be.
Ngcobo, thank you very much for that update. Live for us outside the Pietermaritzburg High Court.